the Budget and Finance Committee. Is there a volunteer to lead us in prayer this morning? Although we said a prayer yesterday morning for the agenda, but is there the Budget and Finance Committee member that wishes to begin with a new prayer this morning? Hearing none, we'll continue on with the prayer that was offered by Delegate Jimmy Yellowhair yesterday morning. So even that the announcements say we do usually have written announcements, but are there any announcements this morning from the Budget and Finance Committee? We've got a lot of good rain all this week, and yesterday first time I seen floodwaters coming by my house yesterday, and we just in the span of 15 minutes, and get puddles, big old ponds of water around the house right now. So yesterday evening they were out there trying to do irrigation canals, and so but it's good to see that though, really good to see frogs. That's the announcement I have. Delegate Elmer PBG.
Good morning. So yeah, Budget and Finance Committee the members and all the staff they're on the line, and then the employees. Other people that are listening in. So just an announcement that we had a major water breakage due to the rain out in Greasewood and in the Wells area. So there's a big water main, the main water line, it broke. So which affected the Indian Wells, White Cone, Dow Cone, and Untitled Chapter. So it is so temporarily they plan it's still it's not water tanks, the main water tanks are they're shut off. So it is I think some offices can be closed on Dalcon and in these areas. So it is just to let you guys know. So it is but I had a good rain though. Young the other night. So last night around the Tito area. So it is just wanted to make that announcement and thank you.
Delegate Omb Report. With that, let's move forward. Recognizing guests and visiting officials. Bishmas on the 24th Navajo Nation Council besides the Budget and Finance Committee. There's been non-shida hadlo because the days they're still in oversight budget hearing modes too. So those are the Budget and Finance Committee members. To the could I begin with Delegate Jimmy Yellowhair.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. Say Jimmy Yellowhair and Jenny Stage. When I say in very black method opinion to in the whippoorwill to heart to force sleep. Good morning. Yeah, it shouldn't have been good morning. Doing the Budget Finance Committee as the artist on Scottish okay up here straight or the shame which is tomorrow wants to the Germany and last night out are you on the cargo. Le 8031 China Esa la a coco a shabila so clean as consummate hot a team dot no it over back when that cloud in a home that hotel the could Navajo Nation that machine Navajo storage and historic preservation department there. That was for a Jota Liripahon Navajo Nation employees are too slow on these projects. What area should be added? What are 18 IC con Arda in the Tiro. When so Shano, Loya are not finished in that. Thank you very much, Chairman. God bless with our budget. Yeah, Onsurole.
Gishin Kia National Da, they'll get Jimmy Yellow Hair. I don't know so a Kadoshna Da, they'll get Amber Kinis Bakrati.
Yate Chair, committee members, those on the call. So Kia Ani Nesle, the Lagana Viking people, Basishin, Destiny Desachedo, the Lagana Irish people, Desinala, Amber Kinis Bakrati. I represent Sheep Springs, Chugray Hill, Tolina, Sanosti, Red Valley, Cove, Gadiai, Beclavatil. And we're very grateful for the moisture, and we know with the erosion that the moisture is, there's some erosion happening. So Chair Henyo, as Chair of Budget and Finance, can we get an update from the President's office if a declaration of emergency is going to be called? We are getting reports of major road erosion, and so we just need to make sure those community members have the support that they need for making sure people are not traveling on roads that are not stable. Thank you so much, Chair. And yes, and I'm glad you made it safe out of that flood area, and I'm glad that we all made it safely on the call. Thank you.
Gishin Kia National Da, Kudo. Bahin Zigi requesting Lagi. Peggy, would you contact Mr. Paulson Chaco and tell him that he'll be on the Budget and Finance Committee meeting from Monday as a report to the committee on the state of the nation and emergency declarations regarding what is happening with around the Navajo Nation at this present time? Ashwita, Peggy.
I can do that.
Chair Henyo.
Moving on to Shanada, Delegate Nathaniel Brown for introductions.
Yate pene shikedos ne ado pespans and the nebenal technically. Yate pene jono that the Jocelyn can the can hoeba hajondo Chelsea hado chan bashipa. Akoshaya troba hanslon look up bashin ki ani da che ado the sana the sunale ado mele chimbi todo danaho todo tudenishe aje. The Napa Nanish Shan Days La Poho Johnny Ado Kashi John K. The door Yat Epen and Nana. Thank you.
Nakia Lashnada, the Dot Nelson Zini. Ashnada, they'll get Elmer PBG. No, Shnada, they'll get Elmer PBG. Elmer PBG, going once. Elmer PBG, going twice. Elmer PBG going 3 times. I think his call might have dropped. So with that, let's move forward to our advisor, Ms. Peggy Nakai.
Good morning, Yate Bina, everybody. My name is Peggy Nakai. I'm the legislative advisor to the Budget and Finance Committee. Tibetli Janensle, Halsoy Bashichin, Torichi Nidashichedo, Tachi Nidashanella, Nikin Hojonde Nasha, Seth Damon, a council delegate. Thank you.
Peggy. Ms. Ramona Nelson.
Yes, good morning, Budget and Finance Committee members. My name is Ramona Nelson. Legislative Assistant to the Budget and Finance Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramona, for your introduction. Let's move forward to see if we have our legal team here with us this morning. I do see Ms. Laureline Tapahi on the screen here. Ms. Tapahi.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members and staff. This is Laureline with OLC. I will be on the call today. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the call. Aldo, do we have nomination Department of Justice on the line?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. This is Mel Rodas from the Tax and Finance Unit of DNJ. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mel, for being on the call this morning with us. There are three branches of the nomination government representatives. Nomination Office of the President, Vice President, Executive Branch. Is there a representative? Okay, then that's a nomination Judicial Branch, Office of Madam Chief Justice Joanne Jane. Let's move forward to Navajo Nation Legislative Branch, Office of Speaker Seth Damon.
Good morning, Yate Bennett, Chair Henio, and Budget Finance Committee. This is Donovan with the Speaker's Office.
Good morning, Donovan. Thank you for being on the call with us. Okay, let's move forward. We do have our presenters waiting for us on here. So let's go to legislation 122-22, Office of the Auditor General. I just seen a text that Ms. Helen Brown is ready here for us. Delegate Nathaniel Brown as a co-sponsor, Ashbiga, to take the helm as the sponsor for this legislation. Delegate Nathaniel Brown.
His call may have dropped, Chair.
Okay. With that, I am also the sponsor, but I would need a chair pro tem to move forward. Is there a volunteer for chair pro tem? Vice Chair Smith is excused this morning.
Chair, I don't know if you have quorum. Because I just see 3 members on the call.
Okay, let's do, I do see Delegate Jimmy Yellowhair on the call, Adosh, and then Delegate Emrick Nasbakrati. And yeah, earlier we did. Let's do a roll call to see if we still have quorum. Ramona?
Yes, Chairman, roll call for the Budget and Finance Committee members of the Nomination Council. Jamie Henio.
I'm present.
Thank you. Honorable Jamie Henio is present. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair. Honorable Elmer P. Begay.
Delegate Yellowhair is on the line. I'm present.
Thank you. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair is present. Honorable Elmer P. Begay. Honorable Elmer P. Begay. Honorable
sorry, this is Delegate Crotty. I'm on the line. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Amber Kenneth Crotty is present. Honorable Nathaniel Brown. Honorable Nathaniel Brown. Chairman, we have 3 members present upon roll call and 1 member excused and 2 members not entering roll call. Chairman?
Okay, we do need 1 for a quorum. And we don't have a quorum at this time. Should that Delegate Yellowhair?
I'd like to nominate my to do pro temp chair while you're doing a sponsor, even yesterday. I'd like to nominate Abigash.
Shouldn't that Delegate? We don't have a quorum.
Quorum's illegal.
And so let's wait a few minutes here.
Okay. Thank you.
Chairman Henio.
Yes.
I think we have Nathaniel Brown's back on the call.
That Delegate Nathaniel Brown, are you back on the call with us?
Chair, yes. I am on my way to Window to pick up my binder, so I will be in and out of service.
Okay, because we need a sponsor in addition for this legislation.
Okay, I can go ahead and do the best that I can.
Thank you. Let's move forward with legislation 122-22. Donovan. Thank you. With that, let's move forward with our legislation. Peggy, Ms. Helen Brown, are you there with us on the call?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Yes, I am. I'm on the call.
Peggy, if you would read the legislation into the record, please.
This is legislation number 0122-22. And it's assigned to Budget and Finance Committee. Proposed Standing Committee Resolution 24th Navajo Nation Council 4th year 2022, introduced by Jamie Hinyo, co-sponsored by Nathaniel Brown, tracking number 0122-22. An action relating to the Budget and Finance Committee approving and recommending the fiscal year 2023 budget for the Office of the Auditor General and related matters to be included in the Navajo Nation's FY 2023 comprehensive budget. So then we'll go to the Exhibit A. And you have the table. So FY 2022 general fund budget, $1,530,116. The proposed general fund budget for FY 2023, $1,495,815. Indirect cost fund, $26,412. General wage adjustment, $30,684. Proprietary funds, 0. Fiduciary funds, 0. Special revenue, internal, 0. Special revenue, external, 0. Total amount is $1,552,911. Exhibit B shows the branch chief's recommended $1,495,815. Exhibit C is blank. D and E, those are all blank exhibits, the unmet need. And then the memo from the Legislative Council, the Internet Public Review shows no comments received, Mr. Chair. And I know that Helen sent in she emailed me her oath yesterday. I don't know if you're counting that for today, Chair.
What was that last part? I didn't catch it.
I was sent an oath by Helen saying that she was going to tell the truth yesterday. I don't know if you want to count it for today.
Well, I'll be as to say take the oath one time, and we'll accept that. Gashina, Office of Management and Budget. Is there a representative from Office of Management and Budget on the left?
Mr. Chair, this is Nanette Francisco with OMB Senior Budget Analyst.
Gashina, also, Peggy, do we have copies of the OMB report?
Yes, you do. I emailed that out a couple of days ago on the 27th, I believe.
Gashina. All right, so it's the Budget and Finance Committee. They were emailed out, but if you wish to have a new copy, state so we can have Peggy email them out again. For good measure, Peggy, just email them out again so we can have them ready, fresh. With that, we do have a legislation that is read into the record. Is there a motion? Legislation 122-22. Is there a motion?
Delegate Yeller, I'll motion.
Delegate Jimmy Yeller, motion. Is there a second? Is there a second to Delegate Jimmy Yeller's motion?
Second, Delegate Cardi.
Delegate Amber Knospa Karate seconds. So we do have a motion and a second. Although with this, we'll have our sponsor, Delegate Nathaniel Brown, just give us a quick overview of the legislation that's before the Budget and Finance Committee. And then after that, we'll hand it over to Ms. Helen Brown just to give a quick overview, not getting into the numbers yet, because we still need to get through the OMB report. So with that, Delegate Nathaniel Brown. I think he dropped off again, right, Peggy? I don't see him on the screen here.
Helen Brown, she's on the call. She's right next to
that's Delegate Nathaniel Brown.
Awesome. I don't see him on the call. I don't see him on the screen, so you might have to do that.
You don't see Delegate Elmer PBG on the line?
No, I don't.
Oh, we can't continue if we don't have a quorum. It is 9:02 a.m. Production of the Budget and Finance Committee. There's only 3 members on the call. And we do have a sponsor for this legislation to give us an introduction. And we have people waiting here for us.
Chair Henio, Elmer is trying to get back on the call. He's trying to find a location to call in. I would recommend that maybe, like Jimmy was recommending, Shadeja, maybe she can pro tem, and then you could go ahead and be the sponsor, and that'll take care of the issue.
Yes, but we don't have a quorum. And
as soon as Elmer calls in, as soon as he calls in, he's trying to call in right now, he said.
Does Delegate Brigade call in again?
Because just when I was on the call the meeting and say we don't have a quorum, okay, I don't thank you for calling back in. Delegate Elmer PBK. With that, we have legislation 122-22 before us, so we do have our program manager, Ms. Helen Brown, here with us, patiently waiting. And I understand that she does have some other personal business to take care of. So with this, Shnanda Kodo Delegate Amber Kinsvakrati Ashbiga Kodo Pro Tem Unleho while I sponsored the legislation.
Okay, Chair. So let me get I'm here with my budget book, and let me get out the documents I could help Pro Tem. Okay. Chair, what legislation are we moving on to right now?
The Office of Auditor General 122-22.
Okay, let me pull that up. 122. Okay, Chair, while staff helps me locate that budget, we can move forward. So staff, if you could help us read that into the record, and then we can move forward with the budget hearing. Thank you very much.
Today, I already read
Peggy,
legislation.
Peggy, hold on. There is a motion second already. Motion by Delegate Jimmy Yellowhair. Ado na second inla on this legislation, and getting ready to give to the sponsor, that Delegate Nathaniel Brown there, but he's off the call, so therefore I'll be sitting in as sponsor. And once I had turned the gavel over to you, then you can defer to me. Then I can introduce the legislation.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Chair. Okay, so great. So Chairman Henio and committee members, as stated, has been read into the record. And so as sponsor, Chairman Henio, if you can move forward with your agents to go over the Omb report, and then we could move on to the legislation. Thank you.
Chair Pro Tem, Budget and Finance Committee. DA legislation 122-22 the Office of Auditor General FY 2023 budget. Ms. Helen Brown, the Acting Auditor General. So even that Budget and Finance Committee, Helen Brown on the launch button from there I'll defer to Office of Management Budget. Ms. Helen Brown.
Chairman Henio, this is Delegate Crotty. Chair, we will need to go to Omb first.
Chair Pro Tem, Office of Management Budget, there was a Mr. Nick from Office of Management Budget.
Madam Pro Temp Chair.
Delegate Omb PBK. Thank you. Mr. Nanette Francisco?
Yes.
OMB report. Chair Pro Tem is requesting for OMB report.
Okay, Madam Chair Pro Temp and Budget and Finance Committee members, I'll be reading in the report for the Office of the Auditor General. You have your table of contents. There's item A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. We'll go through each one of these. Item A is your FY 2023 fund type budget summary. You have one program under here. It's Office of the Auditor General. Business unit is 101024. The FY 2022 budget is $1,530,116. Proposed general fund budget for FY 2023 is $1,495,815. Indirect costs, $26,412. Personal lapse fund, $30,684. Proprietary 0, fiduciary 0, special revenue fund internal 0, special revenue external 0, giving you a total of $1,552,911. Going on to B, you have your FY 2022 third quarter budget status report. This is as of June 30th. Again, business unit 101024, Office of the Auditor General. Original budget is $1,566,798. Revised $2,021,283.64. Actual is $834,751.57. Encumbrance $230,910.12. Budget available is $955,621.95. Percent expended is 52.72. This program is underspending by 65% or less. And CETA will go on to tab C.
Good morning, Madam Pro Temp and members of the committee. C is the third quarter performance assessment report for Office of Auditor General. The first quarter was 2.0, second quarter was a 1.80, third quarter is a 1.80, which they're performing below average. Going on to D, the FY22 third quarter plans of operation status report is the Office of the Auditor General needs to update their plan of operation. And these reports are updated and disseminated every quarter. Going on to the condition of appropriation and legislative report, the Office of Auditor General has one legislative concern, and they're in non-compliant. For a third quarter response, it says no response, but they actually respond, but the report went to another individual within the office, so, but it's still non-compliant, whether if we updated that or not. So that completes my MPS report. Thank you.
Going on to tab F, you have your FY 2022 external fund expenditure report. There is none for Auditor General. Tab G is your FY 2022 single audit report. There is none for Auditor General. That concludes OMB's report. Thank you.
Chair Pro Tem, that completes the OMB report, and we stand for questions on the OMB report.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Henio. Committee members, are there any questions on the OMB report?
This is Delegate Yeller. Good morning. I know, we all know we had a binders, and there's no budget in there for a auditor, internal auditor's budget, and there's none in there. And I looked through a email too, and there's really nothing in there. There's notice that legislation 0122-22 PDF. Open that one. I don't see no budget in there. Peggy, Chairman, Chairman. So,
okay, thank you, Delegate Yellowhair. So, is that a point of order that you're raising?
Probably the point of order, yes. Protest, Chair.
Oh, okay, Delegate Yellowhair. So, with your point of order, you're requesting where is the Auditor General's budget in the binder and if there was a digital copy sent out. Ms. Nakai Sada, can you help the committee? I found this legislation in the binder. I'm here at Wonder Rock. If staff can just let us know how to get this information out to the committee members. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Yellowhair, can you mute your phone, please? After tab 7, if you look in your binder after tab 7, the budget is there. The legislation has a clip on it, a paper clip, and then thereafter there's exhibits again from the resolution, and then thereafter we have budget forms 1 through 7, and then at the end we have a 2-page audit plan that was provided from the Auditor General, and you should have copies of that. Ms. Brown, can you email me a copy of your budget forms and also your plan? That way I can email that out to the committee. Thank you. Electronic copy, please. Pro Tem.
Chairman Satsila, excuse me, Pro Temp Chair Shumayaja. Okay, open that one. It was really hiding behind this one, the last one.
Delegate Yellowhair, yes, thank you for that request. Yeah. So you're recognized. So you were able to find it in the binder, Delegate Yellowhair? You might have been muted, Chiaz. We can't hear you now. But we just want to make sure that you found it in the binder. It was a bit difficult. I had some challenges, but I did find it under the tab. Ms. Nakai, while Delegate Yellowhair is trying to unmute, the committee will need the report from OMB. Could you identify when that was sent out to the committee? Thank you.
Okay, I'll have to look through my email. Hold on a second. Okay, and I'll get back with you. I'll text the committee and let them know what time I sent that.
Okay, perfect. So committee members, there was a point of order, but it appears that information was provided, and staff will help us with identifying when the OMB report was sent out. If OMB can also assist by possibly uploading these documents to your website, as we did in 2020, and that also helps if there's any email challenges that we're all facing. As Delegate Elmer Begay had mentioned, there's power or water outages, so buildings are closed, and so we do understand today is a challenge for all of our staff to get this information. So we all know we're just trying to do the best we can. So committee members, are there any questions regarding the OMB report? Not hearing any. Chairman Henio, I'll go back to you in your legislation for Madam Auditor General to present her budget to the committee. Chair, if we could have maybe a high level from the Auditor General, seeing that we're having some technical and logistic issues with this budget hearing. Thank you, Chairman. You have the floor.
Henio, this is Delegate Begay.
Delegate. Oh yeah, Pro Tem. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Tonight, do you have a question on the OMB report?
Then I'm just waiting. But if I have a problem with my phone again, my signal, I can just text it in. So. Okay,
we appreciate that tonight for accommodating, and staff, if you could note that for the record and keep Delegate Begay and the committee updated with the text messages. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Chairman Henio as a sponsor of the legislation. Chairman Henio and your agent.
Okay, Shanada, Chair Pro Tem Kudo. Dida Eyal Kudo, Ms. Helen Brown is here waiting for us as the Acting Auditor General. And Ms. Helen Brown, present your FY 2023 budget to the Budget and Finance Committee.
Okay, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Budget and Finance Committee, and Madam Pro Temp Chair, Delegate Karate, and all those that are on the line listening. I am Helen Brown. I continue to serve as the Delegated Auditor General for the Office of the Auditor General. And thank you for giving this time to us to present our proposed budget for FY 2023. I'll go over the Form 1 of the budget documents just to provide an overview of our budget going into the next fiscal year. There's three funding sources, as it was explained by OMB. We have the general funds, we have the indirect costs, and then the personal lapse funds for the general wage adjustment. So our total budget is $1,552,911. Our budget from last year, going into Part 3 of the budget summary, we had a budget of $1,566,798. That was our budget for this year, for fiscal year 2022. For the proposed budget, as I mentioned, it's $1,552,911. That's a total decrease of $13,887. The increase occurred within our personal expense line item. That increase was $105,471. That is due to the GWA as well as the increase in fringe benefits. And our travel expenses, we have a decrease of $6,781. For our supplies line item, we have a decrease of $4,500. For lease and rental, we have a decrease of $500. For repairs and maintenance, we have a decrease of $2,000. For contractual services, we have a decrease of $93,000. And for special transactions, we have a decrease of $12,577. So all those decreases are offset by the increase within the personal line item expense. So an overall decrease of $13,887. Part 4 of our budget summary here, in regards to our budgeted positions, that has not changed. We have a total of 15 budgeted positions, 2 administrative positions, and 13 auditor positions, including the Auditor General. We continue to have 2 permanently assigned vehicles to our program, and that has not changed as well. As far as our Form 2, our budget, we do have a goal to complete 11 audits going into the next fiscal year. That's going to be program audits and chapter audits. As far as follow-up reviews, we have a goal to complete 14 follow-up reviews. That again includes program audits and chapters. These are primarily with the corrective action plans and then any sanction revisits. We hope to do at least 2 investigations, and then of course we continue to do the continuous monitoring of the chapter accounting systems, and we also provide advisory and consulting services. So that is our Form 2. I also want to quickly speak to the presentation that was provided by OMB on Exhibit B regarding the status of our expenditure for the end of June 30th, 2022. I want to mention that percentage that was presented by OMB is a reflection of both personnel and operating budget. And so our personnel status is 45%, just because we've had vacancies for a majority of the year. But on our operating side, we've expended about 61% as of the end of June 30th. And as you see on our budget form, a majority of our operating budget is regarding contractual services. This is when we work with outside auditing and accounting firms to help us perform chapter audits and program audits. And so in that particular object code, we've expended about 66% as of June 30th. And I just wanted to provide that for the committee's clarification. we continue to expend our consulting budget. We have at least 2 more contracts that are going through the process to earmark those funds for some more audits that we have planned. So at this time, if we include those contracts, we would have expended about 87% of our consulting budget at this time. So I just wanted to share that with the committee. As far as our legislative concern, I submitted memos directly to Mr. Dominic Bial back for the second quarter as well as the third quarter to provide an update on that legislative concern, to explain what some of the challenges that we've encountered. We had, and I presented a report to this committee back in May to provide an update. So the legislative concern was directing our office to conduct an audit of the Office of the Speaker and Office of Legislative Services regarding some expenditures. And so we tried to outsource that out because I wanted to make sure that that review would be considered impartial, it would be objective, but unfortunately, we issued that RFP 2 times and we didn't get any responses. So to ensure that we still meet this legislative concern, that audit is going to be assigned to someone within our office, but right now she's currently working on another project. So we anticipate starting this audit the latter part of August or the first part of September. So, you know, with all due respect, with OMB saying that we did not provide a response, we did. Those reports are the memos to Mr. Bial were emailed directly to him, as well as the section that addresses these reports, the COAs and the LCs. And so I just wanted to provide that for the committee as well in terms of clarification. So that's just a quick overview of our budget. I stand for any questions that you may have. And again, thank you to the committee for this opportunity to present our budget, and we would appreciate your support, your continued support. With that, I'll turn it back over to our sponsor, Chair Henyo. Thank you.
Thank you for the overview of the budget. With this, Budget and Finance Committee, Pro Tem Chair yield the floor back to you. Who stand for questions?
Thank you, Chairman Henyo. Committee members, are there any questions regarding legislation 0122-22, the fiscal year 23 budget for the Office of the Auditor General and related, or I'm sorry, the Auditor General? Any questions, committee members?
Good morning. This is Delegate here.
Oh, yeah, Chef, you have the floor.
Okay, there's been Ellen Brown, Acting Controller. Good morning. Excuse me, Acting Auditor General. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Auditor General, Acting Ellen Brown. I had a questions about the there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions vacant, and 6 will be with the Auditor General, which is probably your acting in that area. So I wonder what's going on with this advertising. Has Human Resource Office do anything about these advertised? And we have a lot of these vacancies with the Navajo Nation Department. So I hope we do something about it. I mean, last time you said you're behind on your audit report, like even chapters, and can't catch up with it. And these are some issues with Navajo Nation. One area you said there was never been an audit for 25 years. These are some questions I have, concerns. And also there's a good report from you on your budget report. I really appreciate it. It's very good, excellent. That's the only issue I have, and you need more audit with your department, Helen. But there's a concern from the airport too. You said you don't have no room for additional, if these audit will be higher and you don't have a room or office for them. This is my concern. Potent Chair Shumayez McCrowdy. Thank you, Juan Sorole. Thank you for the floor. Floor back to you.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Chef. Committee members, are there any other questions? Okay, thank you. No other questions. We'll go back to the sponsor, Chairman Henio. If you'd like to answer the question or your agent, thank you. You have the floor.
Kushikiela for the question Kodo Naide Kidigi from Budget and Finance Committee. Ms. Helen Brown Kodoshi, our agent, if she would respond, Ms. Brown.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Chair and Madam Pro Temp Chair, as well as Delegate Yellowhair for the question. You are correct. We do have those vacancies. As I stated, I continue to serve as the Delegated Auditor General. I'm not the acting. I understand there's a difference, but I'm still delegated. We continue to advertise that position. We work with DPM, but at this time, it's a open until fill status, and we haven't received any applicants or any interest in that position. We also have 5 vacancies for the Associate Auditor position, but that is in the process of being changed. We do have one new person that's going to be coming on board with us, hopefully in the next week or so. She's currently going through her background check. And then we have another applicant that we're going to be interviewing next week. Hopefully that will provide a suitable candidate for our office as well. So we are continuing to advertise these positions. As mentioned by some of the programs during the budget hearings yesterday, that are those programs that are also dealing with vacancy. It has been challenging, and I will also acknowledge that as well for our program. We're looking for professional individuals. The minimum for our positions for the Associate Auditor, even though they're entry-level positions, we require a bachelor's degree. So those individuals with those types of credentials, it has been hard to recruit them. And then we have to compete with other programs as well. My office, we're looking for people with accounting, business, finance background, but we're competing with other programs like the Office of the Controller. We're also working with competing against the ARPA office. You know, they have people they need for finance matters over there. So it has been challenging for our office. The one thing that we did do is provide a flyer to all of the universities within the 4 surrounding states. We sent that flyer advertising our entry-level positions, trying to recruit recent college graduates that may be interested in looking for employment here back on the Navajo Nation. And so those were submitted to all the different universities, and hopefully that's getting out to some of these young individuals that are looking for their first professional job. And so we want to help them get their foot in the door and then get them that exposure. So those are some of the things that we're doing. We do also have professional organizations that we're members of. We try to work with them to help us advertise these positions. But again, we have to get authorization from DPM before we work with any outside organization. So we are making those efforts. It is a concern for my program because when we don't have enough auditors, it does make it challenging for us to meet our performance measures. And so that's where having a consulting budget helps us offset or compensates for those shortcomings, and they come in to help us continue to perform the audits that are needed. So I try to balance the two together, our internal staff as well as working with outside firms. And so with the two together, we continue to provide important audit services for the Navajo Nation. But that will be my response to Delegate Yellowhair's question about our vacancies. We do acknowledge those vacancies. We are doing our best to get them filled. But there are challenges, and we're just trying to be as innovative as possible to find different ways to recruit and attract people to these positions. So that will be my response. Thank you.
Sheila, thank you for that response. So with that, back to Budget Finance Committee, Pro Tem Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Henio. Committee members or Delegate Yellowhair, does that answer your question?
Thank you. It's my as Pro Temp Chair. Appreciate it. I'm sorry. I'd like to say my corrections. The Delegated Auditor General is Helen Brown Yate for the correction. My report. Thank you for your report and just the vacancy. And I'd like to talk. My concern is to next questions. I'll ask Mr. Speaker Damon, what is he doing about this positions? A Auditor General, is he doing anything? If he's on the line, can he tell us what's the status on his part? Because I understand this is under a legislative office. If I'm correct, please, Pro Temp Chair, appreciate I requested. Yes, to Chairman Henio here will bring this legislation to your great help. Yeah, Minister, like Pro Temp Chair, this is my questions.
Oh, thank you, Delegate Yellowhair. Do we have Office of Speaker staff on the line? I'm not sure if Chief of Staff Shirley Yazzie or Office of Speaker Staff Donovan Hanley's on the line. Okay, Sponsor Chairman Henio, I'm not sure if your agent has any information that you could provide to Delegate Yellowhair regarding the question. If not, we can ask our Budget and Finance staff to follow up with the Office of the Speaker and provide that information to the committee. Chairman Henio, you have the floor.
Pro Tem Chair, the Budget and Finance Committee. Ms. Helen Brown, would you be able to provide a response to the question? You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Henio and the BNF committee members. At this time, I think it would be best to defer that question to Speaker Damon and his office. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. So I defer this back to the Budget and Finance Committee, Pro Tem Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Henio. Committee members, are there any other questions? Not hearing any questions, further questions, I would like to ask Chairman Henio, does this department have any unmet needs? In looking at the documents, I do see they were able to provide their general wage adjustment through the personnel fund. But in looking at Exhibit E, is there going to be an unmet need request from the program? Thank you.
For the questions from the Pro Tem Chair. Ms. Helen Brown, question regarding unmet needs.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair and Madam Pro Temp Chair, for that question. When I did my initial budget, we were really short in the area of contractual services, and so I did submit an unmet needs budget to the Speaker, and he went ahead and approved that request I made. And thereafter, I was instructed to include that amount as part of the proposed budget. So that amount that I had requested was for $200,000. So that's reflected in the contractual services line item. So from $17,000, it went up to $217,000. So that unmet needs was included as part of our proposed budget. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you for the response. So with that, I defer it back to the committee. Pro Tem Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Henry. We'll go back to the committee. Are there any other questions for this program? Hearing none, we'll move forward with the vote. Sada Ramona, can you help us with roll call vote? Thank you. On legislation 0122-22, approving and recommending the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget for the Office of Auditor General. Thank you.
Yesterday's Pro Tem Chair roll call vote on the legislation. Honorable Jamie Henio, how do you vote?
I vote green.
Thank you. Honorable Jamie Henio votes green. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair, how do you vote?
I'll vote green too. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair votes green. Honorable Nathaniel Brown, how do you vote?
Delegate Brown votes green.
Thank you. Honorable Nathaniel Brown votes green. Honorable Elmer P. Begay, how do you vote?
Ramona, he votes green by text.
Okay, Honorable Elmer P. Begay votes green via text. Pro Tem Chair, we have 4 members voting in the affirmative, 0 opposing, Pro Tem Chair not voting, and 1 member excused. Pro Tem Chair?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Shada. So, thank you for the vote. What we'll do is move forward. Chairman Henio, are you sponsoring the next legislation?
Oh, Shanada, Pro Tem Chair, I'm sponsoring the next legislation along with co-sponsors Honorable Seth Damon, Speaker. That's why yesterday I'd asked if there's anybody that was in Window Rock to sign off on these legislation, so therefore I could still continue to chair, but I am sponsoring the next legislation.
Okay. Okay, Chair, I'm here at Window Rock, so I can start signing off on the legislations to help with the budget hearings today. Staff, if you could get that information, and I could sign off and help the committee today. Okay. Did you want to, Chairman Henio, did you want to take a quick recess so I can do that, so we can move forward, or how do you, as chair of the committee, how do you want to move forward with the next action item? I do want to state, Chair, and I want to respect that our community members are also in a state of emergency, and that also might be taking our committee might be dealing with the emergency situation when it comes to our water. I don't know if you want to take that into consideration for a recess, so we could reach out to committee members to make sure that we have a strong quorum to continue with the budget hearing.
Let's take a 20-minute recess. It is 9:40 right now, and we'll come back at 10 o'clock, and then we'll continue with business.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Continue with this. I'll go ahead, Shanadai, Pro Tem Chair.
Oh, you're chair again, so please do your thing. I'm gonna defer to you. Thank you.
Turn through the budget, the Auditor General's budget. So with this, back to me as a chair, budget and finance. We'll recess for 20 minutes. Actually 19 minutes now. Come back at 10 o'clock. And by that time, we should have everything in order again, and many of our community members being able to come and have signal with us. So with that, let's recess up to 10 o'clock.